Alright, time we discuss woke video games and how they're getting shit on by everyone who plays video games, and no one's playing them because no one wants to play a woke, media-driven, fucking agenda-related video game. We just want to play good games, and it's as simple as that. So, I decided to make this video on going through some of the garbage woke games that have been made recently. Don't worry, there's a lot, but we'll just go through the recent ones. And, yeah, just start a discussion around woke games aren't the way to go. If you want to make a successful game, you make a good game. Starting off with Concord. Now, if you don't know, Concord is supposed to be a hero shooter, and its unique aspect for being a hero shooter, we all have, unique things in hero shooters. You have Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, one of the GOATs. Its common, its uniqueness is its leveling system, its unique characters, everything like that. Then you have something like Team Fortress 2, you have unique classes, the GOATs of the classes. And then you have something like Overwatch, where you have unique roles, and those roles kind of tie into the competitive aspect, right? With a game like Concord, it's just slow. It's kind of clunky, and it just feels unfinished. It feels like what a beta would feel like, And I've seen a lot of gameplay. I'm not going to claim I played the game, but from watching hours of gameplay, yes, hours of gameplay, it just looks like shit. Like, it just doesn't look that fun to play. Upon looking at it for like 10 minutes, you're like, oh, okay, this is pretty decent. And then when you see, dumb mechanics, like, once you went around, you have to play another character. You can't play that same character for the whole match. Just a dumb decision. And then just stupid decisions like making the tanks walk at 0.1 speed the whole game. But outside of that shit gameplay, the game's characters don't really have any uniqueness other than some of them are blue-haired, some of them are, presented as weak soy boys, like the guy with the gun and the jacket, and yeah, it's just cringe to look at, to be honest. It just makes me it makes me want to blow my brains out every time I see the roster. And then, of course, you have the fat women that we're supposed to accept and stuff like that, The way to do fat women is obviously you do Zarya from Overwatch. She's one of the thicker women's, but she's a nice size, we'll say. Just saying. But, yeah, nobody really wants to play a game that feels like shit to play. So just because your game has been worked on for 4 to 5 years, and you have colored hair characters, and they have they-thems in their character fucking description, no one's gonna play that, because, hey, newsflash, gamers want to play a good game. Whoa, crazy. But, yeah, it's just one of the most disappointing things to see. When I first saw Concord, I thought it could be interesting in the hero shooter lineup. I quite like hero shooters. But you can see here, everyone kind of agrees that this game isn't even worth trying out. All-time peak of 660. You have people on Twitter defending this game on alt accounts. There's a few videos I've seen, where there's a person who is linked, like, they have a linked account to a developer, and they're trying to, like, say that the game is good, but on an alt account. It's just shit. It's like, why are you doing it? You can just go to your main account and then just say, oh yeah, we really enjoyed the game. Or there's people who are faking not being a game developer and outing themselves by saying stuff like, oh, me and the team, or, the team and I, or whatever the fuck they say, and saying, oh yeah, the game's really good, but the team and I have worked really, really hard on the game and stuff like that. But it's like, and then you claim to not even work on the game. It's like, you're very clearly trying to say, oh, I'm just a fan, I don't even develop the game. Listen, if you develop the game and you like the game, that's kind of the point of developing a game. If you develop a game and you don't like the game, what the fuck are you doing? But I've also seen some weird alt account stuff where people are going on alt accounts and they're shitting on the game to then reply on the main account that, like, no, our game's really good, to spark up, I guess, discussion. Really weird shit in the Concord community. But yeah, Concord looks like shit, plays like shit from everything I've seen, and players agree that it's shit. But yeah, it's just gonna slowly die off, pretty much. I think the game servers will cut by the end of the year. It will just have like 20 people playing, and all of them are people who developed the game. So you're wasting your own money on your own game. Have fun. But yeah, moving on to the next one. Now this isn't a game, but the Acolyte being cancelled. Whoa, Acolyte. I'm triggering some Star Wars fans. Now I am a Star Wars fan, but I've seen... I'm not gonna say those words. I've seen some really dumb people, let's just say that, defend the Acolyte show and say it's a perfect show. Yes, they exist. And they are completely bought out by Disney. Like, they go to the events, they get the lightsaber, they get the costumes, and then they post about it on Twitter, and then they get 1,000 views on their YouTube channel. Now, I'm not shitting on the views part, because your boy out here, you know, getting the views he needs, you know what I mean? But, yeah, this show got canceled because it's literally just a bunch of colored, not white people in a movie, and all of them are just cringe and shit. Now, I haven't watched the episodes, so maybe you can, you know, already rage in the comments and be like, well, you never watched it, so you have an idea what you're talking about. But, the show got canceled. It's the first Disney Plus show by Marvel or Disney to get canceled. And it's not because white dudes, are racist and sexist. Are there racist and sexist people? Probably. But are all of them racist and sexist? No. We just don't want to watch a show about two black women who are Force babies when all the dudes already have a Force baby that relates to them. Most people who watch Star Wars, hey, newsflash, are white dudes. And probably middle-aged white dudes at this point. And at this point, we already have everything in the show is literally just to smear George Lucas's story. And it's that simple, you know? You have Force babies. Who's a Force baby in Star Wars? Oh, Anakin. They. But no, we're gonna have two black women now to rewrite the stories because they're the first Force babies, you know? You have dumb ideas like the Jedi are just like these dumb, stupid, broke people that go to planets with metal detectors looking for credits. Why? Who cares? You have a space switch. Are these space switches that use something called the thread, which isn't the Force, and it's something unique, and blah, 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 blah. Like, there's already space switches in the Clone Wars. Like, you're literally just trying to say, oh, well, we did it first. Like, Leslie Headland, the leader of the show, literally just wants to say, oh, well, we did it first. George Lucas did it after us in the universe timeline. No, I'm sorry. You can't just rewrite things and then claim it's yours. That's not how the world works, right? And all the characters are written like shit, you know? From every scene I've seen, they've tried to introduce, like, pronouns. The clip, I'm not going to play the clips just because of, you know, I'm not trying to get copyrighted out here, and I've been seeing some, you know, not good things coming from Leslie Headland. But anyways, she basically... the black female literally was asking, oh, is he or they with us? Pronouns being introduced into my show. Finally. Ugh. No, I'm sorry. It's just shit. Like, it's just terrible. You know? I'm tired of trying to see just a woke agenda being put into media that's been around for 40 years, by the way. Yeah, now's not the time where you want to wokeify everything in the past. That's not how that works. On top of breaking things like actual lore where Ki-Adi-Mundi isn't even born during the time period, but he's in the show. Stuff like Plagueis looking for an Acolyte, and that's the whole show, where like Plagueis is Palpatine's master in Star Wars, and Plagueis is trying to like fucking look for 7 different apprentices, or I guess acolytes, before he gets the one big apprentice. It's really dumb, really stupid, shouldn't fucking exist. But, anyways, moving on to the next one. Ooh. The song by Amandela Stenberg. Yeah. Now, if you don't know, during the Acolyte, now this is part of media, a song, I guess, I'll put in there. And I know it connects to the Acolyte, but kind of just wanted to put it in here because it's so fucking bad. The Acolyte star, Amandela Stenberg, slams intolerable racism in diss track after a week of anti-woke attacks. And she literally just shits on white people in the song. She's also been outed for, I think, a year or two before she was confirmed to be in the show. Or maybe it was the month, I can't remember. I think it was 2 years ago or something. Where she just straight up said she doesn't like white people. But okay, I guess we allow that in the show. Sure. And if you're shitting on white people for watching Star Wars, newsflash. Most people who watch Star Wars, I would argue 90% are probably white, okay? And probably mostly whites, you know, like the mixed races sort of thing. You know, I'd guarantee, I'd wager most of those are probably, you know, half white, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, this show, terrible. The diss track was so bad that it actually ended up hurting the show even more. She copyrights everyone who plays the song. I'm not gonna fucking play them. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I say white people cry. Crying was the goal. Like, why, man? Just make a good film. Like, nobody cares. But anyways, that's the song there. Just a quick little thing. Didn't want to spend too much time on this. It's just cringe. It's really bad, and it hurts everything. So stop trying to make woke fucking songs for no reason. Alright? No more woke diss tracks. To me and my kind. Alright? I will not tolerate it. Anyways. Moving on to Star Wars Outlaws. Now, I know the show hasn't released yet, and you might be wondering, you know, why is it a woke game? And in my opinion, I think it is a woke game because it quite clearly is trying to pander to a certain audience, being a colored female, you know? And we're seeing that more and more with certain games. Instead of just having a white dude play as the main character, because most people who watch the product or play the product are going to be white, you have Star Wars Outlaws who wants to be different and have a colored female role. But the issue is that you can't just have a colored female role, they have to have a good plotline and they have to be interesting. All the reviews I've seen, I have yet to hear, I've seen like 4 or 5 reviews. I have yet to see anyone actually compliment the main character in any way. I've seen compliments on the creature, I've seen compliments on the robot. I have seen no one talk about the main character being good, you know. And my guess is that she's boring and bland. I know her backstory a little bit. I think they said they're not doing Steam charts for the game. But for the most part, it's like a 7 out of 10 game. But it's just hurt because if you're going to have a Star Wars RPG and you're not going to make it, you're a Jedi who's, you know, white, just saying. You know, if you're not going to have a good character and a good character development like in Jedi Fallen Order or Survivor, where the character can clearly be, what's it called? Like, it feels like you're playing as the character because you relate to them more. I'm obviously just saying because he's a white dude, or just because he's a dude, could have been a black dude, but white dude works. But most people who play Fallen Order, most people who play Jedi Survivor are going to be white dudes. And guess what? Those games were a complete success. Those games were popping off when they come out, right? Star Wars Outlaws, I think, is going to die pretty quick. I don't think it's going to pop off. I've seen it's visually a nice game, so it's not the worst game in the world. I think it's probably a decent game, but from everything I've seen, it's like the bounty hunter mechanics look like shit, and like the whole Star Wars aspect isn't really there, you know? So, in my opinion, I just don't think it's gonna be that great. I don't think it's gonna hold up to the test of time, you know? And I think within a week, people are just going to forget about this game and move on. And I think that's largely because the main character is quite clearly supposed to be a diverse female. When I think the obvious choice is either create your character, so make it either male and female, or you just have it male, because most people who play the game are going to be male. Callisto Protocol is a dude. Fucking Alan Wake is a dude, you know? And while there is a male and female dichotomy in the second game, I think we can all admit most dudes played Alan Wake, alright? And again, I'm not excluding women from this stuff or whatever, right? Women can play these games, but let's just be honest, like, you know, let's just call a spade a spade. 99% of people playing a game like Star Wars Outlaws are men. And, you know, most of those men, probably white, just because it's Star Wars, you know? Not saying black people can't, or brown people, whatever, but most people who've been playing Star Wars for years are going to continue playing Star Wars for years, and that just happens to be white dudes, alright? But yeah, that's my issue with Outlaws. This might be a little controversial, but I do think it's on the woke side, just because of the colored female lead. Moving on, we have the last one, Dustborne. Now, if you don't know, I know the 12 people who are currently playing are probably fuming right now, the fact that I'm bringing up this game for being a woke shit game. But, yeah, Dustborne is a game that came out a few days ago, I believe. And it is nothing but woke. Everything about it is woke. You literally get a male police officer to get triggered. Or, sorry, you get a female police officer to get triggered at a male police officer because the male police officer isn't treating her right. You also literally get dialogue options like trigger, you know, white dude, whatever. There's clips of you just beating up robot policemen with a baseball bat, obviously implying beat the police, you know, or go against the police. And the developers have already come out and said the whole reason they made the game is because they hate Trump. That's where the game started. So if you're already having that, why are you bringing that into gaming, you know? You don't like the government, okay, sure. Why are you bringing that into games? It quite clearly doesn't fucking work. You've been working on this for years, and you have 76 people playing, all time. Like, when are you guys gonna learn that having a woke game doesn't make your game popular? No, newsflash, right? Most people who play woke games aren't even woke. They're playing the game to fucking write down how bad it is, you know? These 12 people are probably IGN, fucking, Moist Critical wouldn't even play this dog shit. I don't know, Gamergate, fucking, what's another one? I can't even remember the rest of them. But game journalists, like all these different companies that play this game just to be able to write down how bad it is, you know? And this is one of the worst games I've ever seen all time. I've never seen a game come out and it have 76 all-time players. Never. So, yeah, Dustborne, not looking good. Looks like shit, by the way, when you see gameplay. And it's literally just a bunch of clips of white dudes being racist towards, like, other people. Like, racists exist, right? But the way you do racist is by having them in, like, Red Dead Redemption or GTA 5, where the games are just, like, that, you know? They're supposed to be racist. And this, it just feels like they're forced racist, so you forcibly don't like them because they're racist. It's just dumb. It's stupid, you know? I don't know when these people are going to learn that you can't just put your own ideology and your own agenda into a video game and force people to scarf it down, you know? This isn't the 2000s where you could get away doing small things where it's, you know, like, goblins being Jewish or whatever, right? Those whole references back in the D&D days and stuff like that. You can't get away with shit like that nowadays because it's terrible. No one wants to join the alphabet community because they're a bunch of insane people. Not all of them, of course. There's probably a few, you know, good people in there. But everyone I've seen talk about these LGBTQ garbage is fucking outraged and just salty, but you don't play these games. You know what I mean? Like, the alphabet community, I'm sorry, is just not playing Concord. You know, maybe there's a few people, like these 100 people, probably like 50 of them, maybe. But that's not the alphabet community. And the alphabet community is so blown out of proportion nowadays that they're just really loud, but it's a small group. Nobody cares. If you want to play good games, guess what? You play Black Myth Wukong. And Black Myth Wukong came out, and it's a Chinese company that develops it, and I believe everyone who got early copies was given a message. No fucking feminism propaganda. Giga Chad, by the way. Shout out to Black Myth Wukong. And just a bunch of other, like, no fucking politics, no fucking, anti-racism shit, like, no racism, stuff like that. Like, the game is quite clearly anti-woke, and it's just trying to be a good fucking game, you know? I think everyone can agree that Wukong is a good game if you played it. It's breaking fucking numbers. And every other game here, and media, is just shit, you know? Like, no one wants to play Dustborne because it's a bad game, you know? I haven't played any of these games. I haven't even played Black Myth Wukong, but it looks fun as fuck. Do I plan on playing it? No, just doesn't look like my style of game, you know? I like shooters. It's not a shooter. I'm not gonna really play it, but that's fine, because I'm gonna continue playing my good shooter games, you know? But I think it's too common now, where it's like, our game is gonna have pronouns in it, and they're gonna have a diverse cast. No one cares. Like, just make a good game, you know? And it's not that everyone's sexist and everyone's racist. You know why? Alien Isolation, one of the best horror games ever made. Fucking main character is a female. No one has a problem with it because it's written really well. You know? Star Wars Outlaws, I know these the main character, everything I've seen from them is the most generic, garbage, cookie cutter fucking dialogue. And it's just, like, terrible. At least Rhea Ripley had fucking responses, and you cared what was going on. And then, outside of that, you have games like Tomb Raider, hot female, does badass stuff, never played them. You have Bayonetta, you have fucking Stellar Blade, you have characters in Warframe, you have characters like, the Lotus in Warframe, you have so many good female characters in games, and if you want to get to, like, racist, or race things, I don't even see that as a thing, you know? I don't think people are racist, you know? If I play Borderlands 1, hey, I don't mind playing Roland, you know? He's a good commando, you know what I mean? But it's because all those characters felt unique, and they felt good to play, and the games felt great to play, you know? Nowadays, it's just terrible fucking games. It's terrible games, man. This whole year, the only game I'm excited to play is Black Ops 6. And that's saying something, alright? I haven't played a Black Ops since Black Ops fucking 2, alright? Like, this is saying something. But it's just like this whole year, there's nothing of interest going on. And it's just a bunch of terrible agendas being pushed for no reason, other than just trying to wokeify everyone who plays the game. Like, I don't understand, I truly don't understand making a game like Dustborne or Concord and being like, yes, people will play this, people will enjoy this, they will love the fuck out of our game. No, nobody gives a fuck about your game, man. It's shit, it's terrible, and you cringily trying to defend it on Twitter and say, like, dumb shit, and being called out for, like, literally saying you hate white men, you know, someone I know, you know, like, you are literally, like, this woman is racist. Like, I hope you guys understand. If you hate white people, you're racist, alright? There's no exception. I don't give a fuck about white privilege, black privilege, whatever the fuck. If you hate a race, by definition, you're racist, you know? And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on why I'm so upset with the gaming and media industry as a whole, just with these dumb fucking woke agendas. You know, if we get a She-Hulk season 2, I think I'm just gonna fucking, you won't see me ever again. Let me just say that. You know what I mean? Just like dumb shit like that, where it's just terrible plots, terrible games, terrible gameplay, and they all get clowned on by just the one good game that comes out this year. Wukong will probably win Game of the Year. I don't even think it's fucking close right now. Helldivers 2 will be nominated, but it's not beating this. I haven't even played Helldivers 2. Don't even know. But I think it's quite clear that gamers are getting frustrated, and just media people in general are getting frustrated with all these games and all the media being pushed with this agenda shit. And it's showing, you know, they're not successful. You know, you have Acolyte being canceled, you have Concord probably getting cut at the end of the year, you have Dustborne literally having under than 100 people. You know, more people have watched my videos than fucking seen this game. I bet you any money. But, yeah. Just wanted to get that. Want to get my 2 cents out there. You know, and if you made it to the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed. And, like always, I hope you have a good day.